When the right movement awakens, healing portals open without you asking. There is a spiral gesture your body knows, yet you have forgotten. An ancient sequence that has traveled through millennia, hidden within your muscle fibers, whispering like a memory that has never faded. The ancient mystery schools called it the vibrational password, a code able to break through blockages you did not even know you carried. Today you will discover a secret movement that awakens the forbidden spiral of creation. It is not therapy. It is not exercise. It is a living pattern engraved in the architecture of your spine, waiting to be reactivated. When you perform this practice, which I will reveal in the next few minutes, your body will recognize it instantly. You may feel warmth rising, energy reorganizing, portals opening. Tears may appear out of nowhere. Images may emerge. It is the primordial, creative force awakening after years asleep. This knowledge has been preserved in secrecy because its power is real, immediate, and irreversible. Get ready. What you are about to discover will forever change the way you inhabit your own body. It is not a technique created by the modern mind. It is an ancestral trace, preserved like fire, kept in stone, waiting for the right moment to be rekindled. It lives hidden in the silent spiral that shapes your most intimate movements, imprinted in fibers and joints like a weave that time cannot erase. When this pattern awakens, the body does not simply move, it recognizes. It recognizes the order that existed before the wounds, before the fears, before the inherited stories that made you shrink. This is the forbidden spiral of creation, a gesture that breaks through blockages your conscious mind could not even name. When it manifests, inner doors unlock. Breathing changes its rhythm. The weight you carry rearranges itself, and the energy that was asleep begins to flow like a river finding its bed again. Some describe this moment as if the body remembered a pact made before birth. Others feel as if forgotten forces crossed the skin to cleanse what had been trapped. In this video, you will discover this secret movement, understand its origin, and learn how to awaken this spiral to release the most ancient power stored within you. And when you reach the end, you will not have simply witnessed a revelation. You will have opened a portal that only responds to those who dare to move as if they were already free. There are records showing that this trace did not begin as a physical exercise, but as a ritual. In the ancient mystery schools of Egypt, initiates were led into silent chambers, where they remained with their eyes closed until the body began, by instinct, to find the movement that reflected the hidden order of the universe. Hermes Trismegistus called it the gesture that mirrors what is above and what is below, a minimal, almost invisible dance, capable of aligning the human body with the sacred geometry that moves the stars. Among the Hermetic monks, this movement was seen as a spiral of return, the thread that reconnects flesh to the memory of creation. It was not taught through words, but transmitted through presence. The master moved, and the disciple felt within their own body the call to reproduce the vibration. In alchemy, it was believed that this spiral was the bridge between the volatile mercury of the mind and the fixed gold of the essence. It dissolved impurities, not with visible fire, but with internal warmth, a fire that rises from the base and meets the heart. The oldest texts warned, do not force the path. The spiral reveals itself to those who surrender. This surrender is not abandonment, but reunion. When the body curves in the right direction, it is not just muscle that moves, it is the entire story rewriting its own ending. And this is why, even today, this pattern remains hidden, because its power cannot be tamed by haste, nor given to those who seek it out of mere curiosity. What the ancients called the spiral of return finds unexpected echoes today in laboratories. Research by Stephen Porges creator of the polyvagal theory, shows that rhythmic and subtle movements can reactivate the body's safety circuit, dissolving patterns of immobility that once seemed like part of the personality. Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist at Stanford, observes that small changes in movement dynamics have the power to reorganize entire systems, from breathing control to emotional balance. In epigenetics, Bruce Lipton reinforces that repeated somatic experiences directly influence gene expression, rewriting automatic responses to stress. It is as if the ancestral key had found its translation in electrical impulses and precise adjustments in the communication between brain, heart, and viscera. It is not just relaxation, it is cellular memory reprogramming. And physics offers another mirror, from planetary orbits to the formation of galaxies. The spiral is a recurring design, echoing within the human body on an invisible scale. These correspondences do not prove a dogma, they reveal a pattern that connects anatomy, energy, and information. And when this pattern is activated, the experience stops being theoretical. The body does not need to believe it recognizes. The heartbeat changes, breathing adjusts, internal temperature rises. It is biology confirming what the symbol has always said. And from this meeting, science and mystery do not compete. They complete each other. There are patterns that do not dissolve simply because you decide to change them. They inhabit deep regions of the body, where reason cannot reach and where words hold no authority. They are vibrations that have settled like silent walls, shaping gestures, postures, and even the way you breathe. These patterns did not arise from a single moment. They were woven over generations. And as long as you try to change them only through the mind, they will find ways to remain. The first step is to recognize them as living codes, not as defects that need to be corrected. Imagine that each blockage is an inverted portal. Instead of expanding, it contracts. Instead of channeling energy, it holds it back. By calling them portals, you shift your focus from the problem to the key. Because portals, by definition, can be crossed. This crossing begins with vibrational listening. It is not about meditating to silence the body, it is meditating to hear it. Attention must descend from the head to the sensory fields where the pattern lives. Once there, do not force it. Stay as you would when approaching a skittish animal without haste, without threats. Observe where the body hesitates. Notice if there is a contraction, a sudden chill, or an unexpected warmth. Do not try to name it, just register it. This is the first sacred movement, somatic mapping. You cannot dissolve what you do not recognize. And here, recognition is not thinking about it, but feeling with precision where the blockage breathes. Many stop at this point because they believe that simply becoming aware is enough for something to change. But awareness without direct contact is like looking at a map without ever setting foot on the land it represents. When mapping, use gentle touch as a marker. Place your hand not to massage or press, but to mark your presence. This gesture is a reminder to the body, I am here with you. It takes the pattern out of the isolation where it has lived for so long. At the end of this first stage, you will not have healed anything yet, and that is perfect. The goal here is not speed, but precision. You are drawing a map that will serve as a guide for the openings to come. A map that no one else can create for you, because the territory is your body, and the body is the temple where transformation begins. When crossing this portal, you do not step into a new place. You step into yourself, into regions that have always existed, but that were covered by inherited mists. The body reacts first with a sense of strangeness, a slight weight in the chest, warmth rising along the spine, an almost imperceptible adjustment in breathing. These signs are not obstacles, they are sentinels. vibrational guardians that test your presence and intention before allowing you to pass. The second movement begins with a conscious settling of attention in the solar plexus, not only as an anatomical point, but as a pulsating field that stores memories and silent agreements made even before your birth. As you rest your awareness there, notice that the accumulated tension is not a fixed block, it is a current, always in motion, awaiting a new bed through which it can flow. To guide it, use touch as the key. Let the tips of your fingers draw slow circles in whichever direction feels most natural to your body, as if awakening an ancient seal without violence, but with firmness. This touch, repeated with presence, begins to dissolve the energetic knot that keeps the creative field weakened. Breathe as if pulling an invisible thread of light through the center of your chest. On the inhale, welcome everything that rises, loose images, hazy memories, sensations without a name. On the exhale, allow this thread to extend outward, releasing what no longer needs to be kept. Do not seek to understand, seek to feel. With each cycle, the internal current reorganizes itself. The solar plexus, once contracted, begins to pulse more broadly, as if breathing along with you. And it is in this moment that a silent bridge is built between the plexus, the heart, and the lower abdomen, three centers vibrating in unison, restoring the original architecture of your body. By sustaining this practice, you will notice that the world around you responds differently. The same situation that once triggered fear now meets a body that does not shrink, but expands. And this expansion, repeated like a rite, becomes a new pattern of presence, steady, lucid, and unbreakable. At the end of this crossing, there is no fixed point of arrival, but a state that becomes permanent. This state is not made of euphoria, but of lucid silence. A silence that is not absence, but saturated presence. The body, which once reacted automatically, now responds by choice. Breathing is no longer just a biological function, it becomes a vibrational code. Each inhale is an invitation for consciousness to settle more deeply. Each exhale is a conscious release of everything that does not sustain your creation. The practice you have sustained until now has changed the way your three centers, lower abdomen, solar plexus, and heart, communicate. This communication is what rewrites the field around you. You are not just feeling different, you are emitting frequencies that attract patterns coherent with the new internal architecture. To seal this state, close your eyes and visualize the three centers connected by a continuous beam of golden light. See this light turning slowly clockwise, creating a field that expands beyond the physical body. Do not force the image, allow it to appear as a consequence of the real vibration that is taking place. While maintaining this visualization, bring to mind a request that represents your most urgent or meaningful creation at this moment. Do not form it into mental words. Instead, feel as if the request were already inscribed in your field. Let the body be the messenger and the guardian of this intention. When you feel the field is stable, touch the sternum lightly with your fingertips, as if awakening a sacred password. This touch seals the ritual and creates a physical anchor that you can activate whenever you wish to return to this state. Open your eyes slowly, without haste. Notice how the environment seems slightly different, as if the air had more density or depth. This is not imagination, it is proof that reality has responded to your reconfiguration. From here on, every action, word, and choice will be shaped by this new vibration. What once seemed impossible begins to move toward you without forced effort. Not because the world has changed, but because you have come to inhabit it at another frequency. This is the true seal of transformation, not the fleeting change of a moment. but the inauguration of a field that sustains itself, because now it is you. There was a moment, in the midst of that slow spiral, when Garrison sensed something change in the air. It was not tiredness, nor muscle fatigue. It was as if a door opened inside him, behind the skin. This moment did not always appear, nor at the same point. Sometimes it came with the first turn, other times only after long minutes. But when it came, the body ceased to be weight and became a current. He remembered feeling something similar as a child, climbing an old oak in the countryside. His hands and feet found support without him thinking about where to step. The body knew, before he did, the exact sequence to reach the top. Now, years later, that memory did not return as a visual recollection, but as a pure gesture born from a deep axis that had no name. The spiral movement began in the hips, rose through the solar plexus, and passed through the heart like a beam of warmth. There was no haste, but there was also no hesitation. Each rotation seemed to dissolve something ancient, a weight in the joints, a fear stored in the stomach, a shadow living between the chest and the throat. He was not thinking about healing. He simply followed the rhythm the body dictated, and in that following, he felt he was touching something that had always been there, like an ancient root too deep to be pulled out. The space around him seemed to reorganize. Distant sounds became clearer. Breathing was no longer just an exchange of air, but a dialogue with everything that existed. At one point, the turning slowed on its own, not from lack of energy, but because the spiral seemed to have completed its course. The body stopped, but the field kept spinning within. Garrison closed his eyes and realized he was no longer performing a movement. He was the movement itself, and in that state, there was nothing to seek, because everything was there, whole, pulsing, waiting only for him to remember again. The greatest block to awakening the spiral is not a lack of skill, but the almost invisible urge to control the movement. When the mind takes command, the shoulders stiffen, the solar plexus contracts, and the gesture loses the flow that would keep it alive. This control is not conscious. It is a self-protection reflex created to avoid vulnerability. The body learned to interrupt anything that could expose old pains or release memories that had not been embraced. To transmute this block, you must create a small space for deliberate imperfection. Before beginning, soften the jaw, allow the hips to turn out of symmetry, and feel the weight distribute itself unevenly. This break in the pattern confuses control and returns command to the body's intelligence. Breathing follows the gesture. Inhale as if opening space within, exhale as if letting slip something that no longer needs to be kept. With time, the spiral stops being a guided act and begins to emerge on its own, as if the body were remembering something it had never forgotten. And when that happens, it is not only the body that moves, but the entire field it sustains. The movement that traveled through your body today is not a trick, nor a technique you learn and forget. It is a calling, and once answered, there is no going back to being the same. The spiral you have awakened is more than a gesture. It is the physical memory that life flows in curves, not in straight lines. It carries and returns, contracts and expands, opens and gathers, always in the right time for your body and your soul. This power did not come from outside. It has been kept within you since the moment the first cell was formed. All we have done here is remove the veil that kept it hidden. As Heraclitus wrote, the spiral of time is the path of eternity. From this moment on, every step, every gesture, every breath is a continuation of this spiral. No matter what the world presents to you, you carry within you the geometry that reorganizes chaos into creation. And perhaps This is the greatest revelation. The body is not only the place where you dwell, it is the temple, the altar, and the very portal to what you most desire. When life feels narrow, return to the center. When meaning seems lost, resume the turn, because the spiral does not only release, it remembers. And those who remember, create. If this video resonated with you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This way, we can keep moving forward together, opening more portals of knowledge and transformation. I want to feel your presence on this journey. Write in the comments, "I awaken the forbidden spiral of creation." This phrase seals your passage through this portal and echoes within the collective vibration we are building here. Share this video with someone who needs to remember the movement that reconnects body and creation. And do not stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another deeply transformative piece of content. Each revelation you access is another turn of the spiral toward what you were born to manifest. Remember, the body that remembers creates, and creation is the answer the universe has always been waiting for from you.